I'm gonna tell you a story. The first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle because I'm the one who's talking to you. Right, so I talked about blessing stuff a lot. Um, Partially just to like help me organize like a bunch of information. I've actually made myself a spell book. So if I ever say like I did this, I mean I literally use the Sanskrit word for thus. And it will make sense that I said like, oh, I consecrated this. I actually just literally used the word consecrate. Um, I basically made them into like D&D levels because I'm a nerd. Nerd alert. Anyway, so um, Azizam Dadadi is plus. That's like level one, so to speak. This is all like use. Essentially, this is all using a single blessing, like a single like mantra to open and to close. And I just use Sanskrit in the middle to like determine what I actually want to do. So, for anyone who's like, what the hell? What exactly does he do? I'm like, this. So, second would be cleanse, which is Marsti. Third would be purify, which is Devate. If anyone actually sees this and speaks Sanskrit and is like actually speaks it and would like to correct my pronunciation, I would be happy to know because I'm an American, yo. I'm just winging it out here. Like I'm from a Cambodian medicine. I'm like from a Cambodian, as near as I can tell, Vajra school, which means they basically like, here, kid, here's your mantra. Go like meditate and see what you learn. Okay, cool. Like, but the thing is, like, a lot of the meditation stuff is like, it's not that I don't see the point of it. It's that like a lot of it is like centering. I'm pretty centered most of the time. Focus. I mean, like I could use more focus, but like that's a lot of like that specific training. It usually helps to have a guru with you to be like doing stuff to like distract you and stuff, and like in a very specific way to help you train your focus, as opposed to just like rolling with whatever's going on, which effectively I guess I do anyway. Um, Fourth would be Basakti, which is cure. Fifth is sanctify, or Tothi Karoti. Sixth is Devasak Karoti, or offer to the gods. Which in this case is like, in my case, is actually literally all of them. Like I've said this before, you can believe me or not, but I kind of literally believe like every single god, every single demon. Like ones I don't know about. There is stuff I'm sure is very real. I have never even thought of, and that is beyond awesome to me. Anyway, um, seven is maximum purify, or purify like highly, sanctify, sanctify and purify at the same time, effectively. Pavitratare Karoti. Um, eight is hallow. I can hallow stuff. That's awesome. Which is Yajate. Consecrate, which I use for effigies. So like Burning Man, that sort of thing. If anyone from like Firefly sees this, hi, it's Oracle. I actually use that because when I go into when I go to basically a an arts festival to do an effigy burn, um, it's like it's essentially I think they actually are now a regional burn in terms of like being kind of sort of related to Burning Man, but it's the same concept of Burning Man. Like literally, there's in I have the words for effigy of a couple different effigies actually. Um, but I consecrate the effigies, which would be Pujiati. So I can actually do that. If anyone from the Firefly Crow sees this, by the way, oh, especially if the person who actually owns the land actually sees this video, I might actually send him the link to these. But yeah, I can actually consecrate those now. There's just general effigy. There is I have the words for at least general effigy. This is also I have simulacrum like of a unicorn and a dragon. The dragon actually has dragon's blood incense and plastic, which is like dinosaur bone. So I'm like, it's dragon bone. I'm saying it's dragon bone because for the purpose of it being an effigy. I also have like a fish one up there too for like, you know, the Pisces constellation. Anyway, I'm a strange person. I got into some doing some wild stuff in the past like 2 years especially. Anyway, my point is, um, there's also, I think it's pasta terrazzi, is, I'll look it up, it's one of the other ones, but, it's, effigy made of flour for inauspicious nights. There's effigy of a man, just a giant dude, which is, generally speaking, for someone who is a particularly heinous criminal. Someone who feels the need to be big and make everyone feel small. It could be a tyrant, it could be, well, it could be your local, like, if there are a bunch of, the people that Q are most worried about and label all Democrats as. Sorry, Q, that's just how I see y'all see mean basically like what you're after. Like I understand being angry about what you're angry about, but like I feel like you need to stop feeling like there are none of those people in the Republican because like I don't think all Republicans are like that. I just don't. But like I think it's silly to think that they only exist on one side of the aisle. That's just me. But anyway, um, so consecrate effigy, and pati, which is feast. That's 10, and that's actually I've done this in one of my other videos, and I did a panchamrita, um, like the 5 foods thing. That's a feast. That's pati. That's the level of blessing used for that. So, but anyway, oh yeah, going back to effigies. There's effigy of man. There's effigy of made out of flour for a inauspicious night, and uh, effigy. Oh, this is one I did for animal crackers. There's one like effigy. I think it's actually even specifically made out of flour, for a sacrificial animal. And Firefly has a bug, so like it's a bug. That's an animal. So we could have like bug crackers, and I could like bless it as an effigy of an animal, and we could like sacrifice a bug, like in a literal actual sense, like in a magical actual sense. But anyway, my point is, and then there's this is fascinating. Considering this, I actually done this for a couple things for like people whose bodies have been lost. It's a specific effigy for made out of stuffed leaves. That's usually just like a scarecrow, basically, but is you know made to symbolize a lost body or like a lost Zava. Um, Burial grounds are called Zava Bumi, by the way. Um, those are very important to have hallowed. Very important to have hallowed. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I think that just like kind of sort of helps me like explain my rationale and how like I progress with going about doing this so I don't like I lay a lot of like terms like, oh, I did this, I did that, but like honestly speaking, it's not like that special. Like I guess it's a little bit special that I took the time to actually be like, okay, I have a blessing spell. What can I actually do with a blessing spell? Well, it makes sense that I would be able to do things like, I don't know, consecrate stuff, hello stuff, bless stuff. Why don't I actually just look up a word that means bless and work it in to like what I do? It seemed pretty reasonable. I also did other things like um, putting what I do as like sparks or seeds as like Stoko or Bija, um, and then like telling them to bloom. That's something I've done. I just thought it was pretty neat. That's sort of why another reason I actually refer to myself as a druid because I feel like that's the sort of way I like use my Buddhist blessing to like be a druid. That's sort of how I look at things. Also, like as near as I can tell, druids are like Yes, reincarnation is a thing. So like a druid runs into a Buddhist and they're just like, "What do you believe in?" "Oh, I believe in this, basically." "Huh. Okay. So you're like, well, you like a Yaksha worshiper? What's a Yaksha?" Um, Vietahari. Oh, oh, cool things about Sanskrit. There's words for sprite and fae, which is Vietahari. So basically, like if I've ever seen like I don't know how much anime any of you have watched, you ever seen like Black Clover? Um, Yuno's companion. Self, 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 Vidyahari, if I remember correctly. That would, I believe, would actually be a very specific, like really powerful kind of elemental yaksha. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah, Abba. So I have a firm like this is just my opinion. My opinion is that like the war is like described in the Vedas, where the Deva are essentially fighting the Rakshasa. Um, Rakshasa, as near as I can tell, are like really, really powerful Fae. Like really powerful Fae. Now I could be wrong. I could easily be wrong. But part of the reason I thought this is at one point I was like I started really diving into Sanskrit back in like I don't know 2021. I would say yeah, back in like end of 2021. I really started like diving into Sanskrit. Um and like sometime in like early 2023, maybe the end of 2022. I think it was still in 2023 though. I looked. I was like, huh. I have this theory about like Rakshasa and Yaksha being like primal Fae. Fae are all about glamour, huh? And I came up with this these things that I call glamour formula, which are basically like um Glamour, and they're basically like little poems that like are supposed to be like expressions of sort of like fake glamour. I thought that was awesome. I also have this thing about like glamour essentially being like one of the most like usefully like malleable forms of reality, and but the thing about glamour is that like it's like stable and volatile at the same time, and there's a word for it specifically in there, and that's an interesting thing about this. What's interesting about Sanskrit is stuff that has only one word. You know what has one word? Glamour. Glamour. Glamour has one word. Abba. Now, admittedly, Abba actually has a lot of meanings, but glamour is only Abba. Real talk. Just saying. So anyway, Rakshasa, Rakshasa, revelry, revelry. Also, among other things that like I've enchanted effectively with using my blessing spell is I have an armor over there. He's spawning my mom. And I have a thing back there. So I used to be a stage manager. I'm still technically a stage manager. I'm part of the union actually as Jeffrey Savage. Same stage name as I have that I write under. But I have like a mini theater over there. Like I actually have like a little Parthenon sitting on a fountain back there that I actually got my. I have a travel Buddha in my car. I think I may have mentioned that like I turn my house and my car into a temple. Pretty specifically, I actually turn my. I'm such a strange person. I turn my car into a crossroads temple, into a Vastra Leia yoga or something like that. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I sort of like imagined and then sort of like projected and sort of like blessed to lay on top of existing power cables and roads, effectively like copies of them that are like it's my Prana yoga. It's those are my means of magic, so I can like anywhere I'm like out of my house, I'm still effectively connected to here, so I can still do stuff like as if I'm here for the pre-existing power grid, just because it's already there, and I'm not gonna like work too hard and or like try to fight reality by trying to make stuff that's just like wholesale doesn't exist, because like why would I do that? It seems like a very stupid way to do things, because in my opinion, like doing things like blessings and stuff, like understanding a sequence like that, it's about layering information, near as I can tell, like layering it effectively, layering it in a way that works effectively with each other, sort of like um weaving. Like as near as I can tell, like I became at some point like just because I think I effectively really started reading about Sanskrit because I wanted to know more terms about weaving. Because like reality's a weave. I was like, it's a thing. It's a like I don't know when I just came to this conclusion. It's like reality's a weave. Like I came to this conclusion a couple times, but like I came to it like really hard like back at the end of 2021 or so. And it's like things got very strange for me. Like, why did such a like a basic conclusion make my life so strange? Anyway, this is Oracle. This is the time I'm actually just rambling at you. Oh, respect your way is about respect, and respect the one. Oh, I'm gonna do one more thing before I go. So I'm gonna probably do like a little like intro about the anyway, and all they say, and all they always say. I think like I may have tapped into like some like past life Yaksha stuff, because like I started doing this thing. It was like I have this thing called hand song. I'm like, what the fuck is hand song? And then I started like randomly doing, and this was like around the time I started like really. It was around 1025 in 2021. I was like, there is no dancer. Oh, I read this book called that I was first loaned a copy of that was actually signed by the author called Nima, whose name is Nima, and it's called Mott Magic, and it's about physical magic, and it has this thing where it's called "There is no dancer, there's only the dance," and like I started saying it a lot, like there is no dancer, there's only the dance. I was like, that makes so much sense to me. I don't even know how to express it. It's like I think like it's actually just like a incredibly useful koan. That might be what it is, which would make sense. But so I'm a maskless dancer. I don't know what that means, especially since I know there is no dancer, but there is only the dance. But there's like, you know, maybe I should. That's my butt. On a side note, I mentioned before at least that I deeply love trans women, not the least of which is Mariana Cordova. I actually got a chance to meet Foxy Angel once. She's wonderful and sweet and beautiful. And if she sees this, I would love to see you again. I actually offered myself to her as a birthday present, but she was like at family times, I guess, which like may in fact just have been her being extremely nice and letting me down soft in a very extremely reasonable way. And if so, I appreciate that. But you know, if it was actually literally just because she had family plans, she was like, oh, you know what, I might have taken you off on that, but you know, can't. It was always like to. Because I'm like that. Anyway, so oh yeah. If any of you actually know me, this book includes something called so anyone who's played Shadowrun, if you pick up this book and you played specifically a magic character and you read this book, you're gonna go like, what is this about self-initiation that this woman is talking about? Because this has to be actual reference material that Thassa used. If someone from Thassa, particularly someone who worked on Earth Dawn and Shadowrun, use this, reach out to me, because that, I'm sure you did it. You had to have. Because this has the thesis, this has effectively kind of sort of has ordeals. It only goes into like 2 grades, but that reminds me a lot of how they in the beginning had grade 0. Deep game geekiness here. I'm just saying, but invocation. It's got a big section on theory. It's got basically initiation along Kabbalistic lines. It's got some couple rituals in there. There's a big section about essentially um, channeling, I believe, is what's going on there. And that's essentially just like what the entire chapter is. Here is a thing about Natan. Natan is fascinating. I feel like Natan, like, so, just to get geeky here, I told my brother about this. I, you know what kind of person I am? I'm the kind of person who consecrated the, Atlantic and Pacific internet trunks. And also, um, the cloud. I consecrated it. You know why? It just seemed like a good idea. It seems like something that would, like, if there are, like, well, let's say there's a bunch of psychic people in the world and I just don't know. You know what this would do? Make life safer for everyone. I'm not even joking. It's just like, it just makes life safer. It's, again, it's like, I've been doing these videos for like a bit, like, and I'm planning on this one being like a very late release one, so like, you all know I've been doing this for a bit. So like, I'm not doing this to like brag, it's just like something I did. I very recently told you that consecrating was something I did with my blessing, and I'm like, I mean, if I'm connected to the internet, I can effectively reach both of them just by being here. If I think about it the right way. Layering information is fascinating. The Abyss. The Abyss is where things get real in the scary way. The hard, yeah, the nether places. Banishment. I've done banishing so many times. This has a nice little banishing that I adapted to using Vedic gods. And that's part of like how I connected so deeply with Rakshasa. The forgotten ones. Hunger, thirst, sleep. Never forget your basic needs. Speaking of which, I need to go to sleep soon because I'm going to work in the morning. Alright, let's see. Where's it? Dance of the Mask. Here we go. That is what I was looking for. There is no dance. There's only dance. This, it's gonna take me some time to work out the whole story. When I say I'm gonna tell you a story, but you have to understand time doesn't work the way you think it is, that's what I'm talking about. It is the story of, effectively, this past 2 years had me be like, someone say, like, you don't know what you're talking about this. And me having to go through the most ridiculous and stupid and unnecessary bunch of bullshit to prove that I actually know exactly who I am, and anyone who says otherwise don't know nothing about nothing, especially not about me. Alright, now, I have to leave it at that because this is going on like literally 25 minutes, and this is the longest video I've ever done for y'all. So, as Oracle, we respect the old way and the man of the way, and among the Vasura, the night of the crosses, I know the way, I know my way, to simply everyone's Wapner always.